Hi everyone, welcome to this Wednesday runes reading for this week, December 22nd till next week, December 28th. Now for this week, I decided since we entered in the solstice, whether it's winter or summer solstice, so I decided to do a circle of healing runes. So how it works? Well, I'm just gonna take my runes and put them all around in the paper, and all of those that's gonna fall in here, I'm gonna read them. Only the one face up, the other one I'm gonna toss down, and everything that falls around, that's gonna be tossed also. So without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so I'm gonna start by tossing those ones. Okay, these ones face down. These ones. This one. Oops, she was here. So, okay. I'm gonna leave Berkana because she's still in there. So speaking of Berkana, this one here, I'm gonna start right with this one. So Berkana fell into compassion and innocence. Now, Berkana is the rune of creativity, of birth, and a new thing. She represents beauty, physical and outside, inside and out. She invites you to see to everything that is beautiful, but she's also the rune of union and association. She also prevents you that everything that is shining, it's not gold. So be careful when you're looking at things. So being in compassion and innocence, I would tell you that it's time to look and maybe have compassion for someone that maybe you didn't thought was having difficulties, or someone that whether you were not aware of their difficulties or not believing them, maybe it's time to look at that and see what they have to say and try to see how they feel. As I said, also innocence. So maybe with the compassion and innocence, try not to get fooled also, because some people might try to fool you or to use you. So be aware and be careful of that. Okay. Yeah. And as I was saying too, maybe you will have some compassion and maybe find some innocence, as I was saying, for someone that you didn't expect it to. Now we're gonna follow with this one, Odal, which is in the same spot, compassion and innocence. Now Odal is like the karma rune. but she's also symbolize your ancestor, your roots, the knowledge. Now, everything that comes from the past that we inherited, our culture, our family, our ancestors. So that's what it represents. She is also a rune of introspection and of discovering the truth. It's your roots, your strength, your knowledge, everything that's going to help you in this life. So, as I was saying, is in compassion and innocence. Now, maybe pretty much like I was saying with the Berkana, but this one is mostly related to your family. So maybe it's time to have compassion for a member of your family that's having trouble or not feeling well. And maybe if someone, okay, as I was saying, yeah, compassion for a member of your family. And also maybe the innocence one that I would feel would be for a child, a kid. Maybe a kid did something and they didn't know, and since they don't have the same understanding as us, so maybe trying to explain them that what they did were either wrong, but even if it was right, then maybe congratulate them and tell them it's a good thing what they did, and let them know that you appreciate it and some things like that. Now we're gonna go with Uruz in guilt and grief. Now Uruz is the rune that reminding you that life isn't always smooth. She brings change, moving, and movement. The wheel is turning, and what you're living right now, it's not forever. Everything can go for the best or for the worst if you're not taking care of the situation. So be mindful about what your life is telling you and might brings to you. Now, in guilt and grief, well, maybe now you're feeling guilty. I know that, it's a time of holidays, and not everyone are gonna celebrate the same. So maybe you're feeling guilty because you won't be able to celebrate with your family, or that you're gonna go and celebrate and even if you don't want to. So I would say that don't feel guilty about it. Just respect your family's view on that, and if you respect them, well, they're gonna respect you. Okay, so it's working on both ways. So try to maybe explain to them how you celebrate or something like that, what it means to you. But if you know that the person is not gonna listen or are gonna start a fight, well, wait, don't do it. Okay, it's not a time for fighting and then after that regretting it. Grief, well, there's also can be a grief in the sense, not that someone is dead, but maybe with everything's going on right now, the virus and everything, our celebrations are not the same. maybe because we can't see family and gather together. So it's kind of a grief. So don't let that stop you. Maybe try to do a video talk or call them. Maybe see them if you can outside if it's possible. You know, simple thing, or just go to bring them a little something even at the door and just say hi. You know, smallest thing like that can make all the difference. Okay, let's continue here with Uruz, which is in gratitude, love, shame. Okay, gratitude, love, and shame. Now, Uruz is the spiritual evolution, physical and mental. It tells you that you have to find balance in everything that you're doing, and it's important not to do just one thing, you know. It's important to balance them and find a way to stay in between. It also reminds you that the obstacle on your path, well, helps you to make good choices. Okay, so we need them in a way. She is also a rune of protection. Now, in the gratitude, try to find maybe one thing or two that you are grateful, whether it's family, friends, work, your home, the sun, the snow, anything that, you know, just even waking up in the morning, your health, any small thing like that. For love, I would say tell your loved one that you love them, but not just tell them, say I love you, just show them also. How? Well, maybe by taking them somewhere, having a meal with them if it's possible. Small little things like that that can make a really big difference and to show that you really love them. Shame. For the shame part, maybe you did something that you feel ashamed of. So, for example, if you tell a lie to someone, if you told, I should say, well, maybe it's time to come clean and tell them that you're sorry and that you lied to them, whatever the reason was, but come clean about it and then just move on. It's going to be easier than keeping that weight of the shame on your shoulder. So next one I'm going to take is Uruz. Now Uruz is in boundaries, honesty, and serenity. I can also put in denial. Uruz is the rune that represents trip and movement, moving, the flow also. It's a feminine rune. She's related to water and the source. She symbolizes intuition and consciousness. Now, with the denial, maybe you've been living in a situation and you're in denial of something, whether it's, for example, you don't have enough money, or you're not in a good health, or that you can do something. It's kind of like you're living with pink glasses. It's not good. Now it's time to just open your eyes and see and face the situation. Okay. Boundaries. Now everyone is wanting something from you, so now it's time to just put some boundaries. Yes, you can still help, but try to take some time for yourself. You really need it um, to pamper yourself, to rest, to charge yourself. Um, you're in need of that right now. And honesty, as I was saying with the other rune, be honest about something, whether if you're not feeling good or you don't want to do something. It's time to be honest, okay? Be good but honest. Okay, the next rune is gonna be this one here, which is I was. Now, I was is the rune that represents the end of one thing, a situation, a death, but something that's gonna bring a rebirth. She tells you that everything starts by the rebirth, and no, I'm sorry, everything starts by death and to end one thing and the rebirth of something new. Now, she is in denial and boundaries. Now, maybe pretty much as I was saying, you've been denying something, whether it's problem or a situation that you don't love or anything like that, and maybe avoiding it. So it's time to open your eyes and look and deal with that situation to finally, feel better and get better. Boundaries. Also, it's time to put some boundaries. Maybe you already had some, but maybe add new ones or add new people, to put some boundaries. So it's time to look at that. Now I'm gonna do Uruz, which is in honesty, serenity, and patience. Uruz tells you that it's the end of a cycle, the end of a project, or an action, and that now you're gonna see the result of it. It's the end of a tunnel that when we go out, we are like having all the light in your eyes, but it's a beautiful light that's gonna help you and bring you some comfort. It's the healing of a difficult cycle, even a negative one. So as for honesty, well, maybe someone will come clean to you and be honest with you. Serenity, well, it's time to be serene and stop worrying about every little things or things that you shouldn't worry about. As for example, let's say, is it gonna be cold outside or not? Small things like that, but that you are worrying about. And maybe now it's time to be a little more patient, whether it's with yourself or with your friends. It's really something that you need to work on, because maybe lately you weren't very patient. So time for it now, and to start to make it a part of your life. Now I'm gonna go with notice, which is in patience, acceptance, and courage. Now notice is the rune that correspond to reflection. So it tells you to reflect before doing any action. If you don't need to invest yourself in something, then don't do it. Okay? For example, if there's a fight and it doesn't concern you, well, maybe you can help the people, but don't try to argue or, put some fire, some fuel in that fight. Be also aware that greed, it's not good. If you're being too greedy, well, you will pay the price for it. So basically, patience, well, you need to be patient and reflect. So you're not, maybe you're not gonna find the solution to your problems right away. Okay, it can take a little time. Acceptance, well, also you can avoiding to accept some things, like for example the changes the virus bring. Maybe if you lost your job, if you lost a loved one, maybe if your health is not as good as it was, you have to try to start to accept it. And courage, well, look inside of yourself and find the strength and the courage to get you through all of this happening, so don't let it take you down. I know it's gonna take maybe sometimes, because it won't happen overnight, but be patient and take your courage, and you're gonna get through things. Now, this one is Anzus, and she is in forgiveness, humor. So, forgiveness and humor. Anzus is the knowledge, the one that we've got, and the knowledge that we're looking for. This rune is related to Odin, and she tells you about the wisdom of the patriarch. She's associated with time and temperance. Now, I would say that forgiveness is very important, whether it's for yourself or someone. Now, even if someone made something to you, I'm not saying to forgive them right away and that all's going to be all right and to still be friend or anything like that. What I'm saying is try to forgive them, but if you don't want to talk with them anymore or anything like that, it's okay. You don't necessarily do it for them, but for yourself, to feel better for yourself. Okay? So you need that to make peace with yourself, to still keep a peace of mind. And humor, well, I know maybe right now it's not the best times to laugh or have fun or anything like that, but try to maybe just one time a week or something like that, maybe look at the movie comedy one, or some videos that are fun, whether it's animal or bloopers or thing like that. It's good to laugh, and it's gonna help you relax and feel better. Okay, now this one is Uruz. Now Uruz, it's the ball, the strength, the ram that moving forward, and that's gonna pave the way. This rune announce that you're gonna go way beyond your limit, and the limit that was implanted by people or even by yourself. So Uruz is in anger, surrender, and also wisdom. So in anger, well, yes, I know that you might feel angry at some things, even at some people, but now it's not the time to sit there and remind yourself about these anger. Okay, it's supposed to be a time to be happy and to feel good. So try to let go of this anger. Try to let's say work on it, see what's making you feeling like that, and do the action to get rid of it. For example, if you're talking with someone and that person keeps saying things that angers you, well then tell that person. If it doesn't work and that person keeps going, then just close the book and move forward. Now in surrender, well, yes, sometimes you have to surrender. We can't win every battle. Now if you're battling something and you feel that you're stuck or you're not moving forward, maybe it's time to just surrender and say, okay, I didn't want this one, but next one maybe I'm gonna win it, or I'm gonna work on another battle which is more important than this one. So try to do that. And the wisdom, I would say that if you wanted to learn something, maybe a new language, going back to school, take some courses, now it's time to work on that. It's a good time for it. Okay, last but not least, here is Sig. Now Sig is in a lot: forgiveness, humor, anger, surrender, wisdom, hope, fear, and compassion. Also innocence, because she touched a lot. I'm gonna put that so I can read. So Six represents your inner strength, subconscious, and the conscious. That's giving you the power to go inside of you to find your strength. This is a rune of power, of success, and strength. She tells you there's going to be some good things coming. She also is a spiritual awakening. So for forgiveness, as I was saying, forgive yourself and someone that made something to you. Humor, same thing. Try to laugh, have some fun. Anger, work on that anger. Try to let it go. Okay? Surrender, same thing. If the battle isn't worth fighting, well, then surrender and pick another one. Hope. Don't lose hope, because yes, right now it's not the best of times, but um, if we can keep working on it and trying to find the best in the situation and keep the faith, well, then it's gonna get better. I'm not saying it's gonna be tomorrow, but it will get better. Okay? Fear. Don't live in fear. Yes, I know. In this time, you can be feeling a lot of it, whether it's because of your work, because you might lose your job, whether it's because you are afraid not to be able to pay your bills, or you are afraid to lose someone, family, friends. Whether it's something like that, try not to worry. Okay? For example, if you you fear not to be able to pay your bill, well, then maybe try to do a budget that's going to work for you. And for example, if you can't pay your bill completely, well, maybe give a little bit here and there, and then it's going to help. So, it will work out, but don't fear, because you can do things to make it, better for yourself and your family. And compassion, also try to have compassion for other people, maybe for the government. Now, I don't want to start a debate whether they're doing their job well or not, but listen to what they have to say and keep what is best for you, and toss the other thing that you don't need or don't agree with. Okay? I'm gonna put it like that. And innocence, well, it will sound weird, but maybe sometime it's good to stay innocent in some ways. Now, I'm not gonna say not saying things, but let's just say not saying things with the eye of an adult. Try to remember when you were a kid and how you were saying some things. Keep that innocence. Sometimes it was a good innocence, so try to change your perspective on how you see things. Okay, that's gonna be helpful for you. So thank you for joining me. I know this one was a little longer because of all the runes that fell, but basically try to work on this for this week. Or not maybe every point of them, but work on the point that resonate the most for you. Okay? So I wish you all a happy winter solstice or summer solstice, a happy Odin's Day, and a wonderful rest of the week. Also, for those who celebrate, I wish you all happy holidays. Thank you.